Hey, yo, Fro Podcast listeners, help us out and click subscribe to show your support. Don't forget to shoot over to our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/ProWrestlingPodcast to become a sponsor of the Pro Wrestling Podcast, have your name put into all of our show notes, and have the opportunity to contribute enough so that we can bring you in and let you do a live podcast with us. And also, don't forget to check out our new page at FroLifePlanning.com/FroPodcast for all the news, rumors, our interview series, and other tidbits coming to the Pro Wrestling Podcast. Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. This episode we got a little bit of news and rumors for the day. Before we get started, don't forget to pop over to the 256 Tag Team Tournament. The links are live right now. They will be closing tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. That you can access those at FroLifePlanning.com/fanpoll or at the link that I told you earlier, FroLifePlanning.com/FroPodcast. There'll be a tab there for tournament voting. Go ahead and go there now and get those picks in. And if you have any questions for this Saturday night's live broadcast, make sure you shoot those to us using our new phone number, the contest sound off line, 267-642-1160, and we can get to your questions, comments, and concerns on the live broadcast. Let's get going with today's news and rumors, and we're starting off with Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne has had an exciting week. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate finally having their rematch from the WWE United Kingdom Championship tournament earlier in the year, back in January. It took quite a while to get them back in a ring together, but they put on what a lot of people are calling the match of the year. And I would be hard-pressed to argue with them. I had to go back and watch the match a couple times for me to truly appreciate what they did in the ring. And what it tells me is a couple things. One, this United Kingdom talent pool that WWE is trying to integrate as much as possible into their roster is very deep. You know, there's a couple talents that obviously they can't sign right now. Marty Scurll, Will Ospreay, Ricochet, those kinds of people who would really spice up that 205 roster. But if you're looking exclusively at the British talent, there is some amazing talents that they've already brought in, and more that I'm sure they're scouting to potentially bring in at a later date. And the most beautiful thing about it, and the part that I want to get to today is the fact that Pete Dunne now has expressed on Twitter his interest in facing Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. I love this. Neville being one of those European wrestlers who I was a little surprised didn't challenge for the United Kingdom Championship at the tournament to begin with, considering he's one of those wrestlers. It would be interesting to see he and the current United Kingdom champion Pete Dunne in the ring. Being that they're both heels, I don't know how they would book that or who would be the face or if they would just leave it heel on heel. I don't really care. I think the two of them could put on a great show, and it's very interesting to see Pete Dunne calling him out on Twitter. And the most important part about this is that Neville ended up responding to him and telling him on Twitter, be careful what you wish for. You know, that would be amazing to see these two get in the ring and really showcase what British wrestling is all about, or the United Kingdom wrestling scene is all about. So, something to look forward to potentially in the future. A little hard with the booking, like I said, heel and heel, but hopefully it's something we get to see sooner rather than later. Next tidbit is WWE. They are trying to apparently not get involved in the Broken Hardy gimmick dispute between Anthem, Impact Wrestling, and the Hardy Boys. There was a lot of issue this week already. You had the Hardys making comments. You had Anthem's president releasing details from the Hardys contract, and in what a lot of people describe as like a transcript of the communication between he and the Hardys. It wasn't a word-for-word type of deal, but he was giving you literally topics of conversation that they've had throughout their negotiations. Now, you could take that with a grain of salt. This is, in my personal opinion, and Jim Ross's opinion. If you check out JR's Barbecue, he makes it very clear that this is just really unprofessional of a company like Anthem to go out and call out talent and release contract details and things like that. That is something that is unheard of in this business, and it's something that is really a low point, I think, in this negotiation. Now, the other side of this is that when you look at Billy Corgan, who was at one point going to purchase Impact Wrestling, or had tried to purchase Impact Wrestling, he has been acting as somewhat of a mediator between the two parties to try to get something worked out, and he made it very clear that because of, essentially, it's the stubbornness on both sides, there's a good chance we never see this gimmick again, because he believes that there is zero reason to suspect that WWE is going to get involved in this issue. And to follow that up, he also feels like the Hardys, if Impact Wrestling doesn't want to sell the gimmick, the Hardys may never be able to perform it again. He really believes it's going to become intellectual property of Impact Wrestling. So, that's just one man's opinion. Of course, the lawyers have to get involved to see whether or not that's true or not. But it is definitely curious that a guy who was so close to the fire without getting burned has that opinion. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. There was some back and forth from the Hardys. They refuted the testimonial statements of the president of Anthem, saying that it wasn't true and whatnot. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I honestly don't know how this is going to go down in court, but it's definitely an issue that's not going away anytime soon. Rebby Hardy made it very clear that their lawyers are going to tear them apart in court. At least that's her opinion. I think a lot of their side stems from the fact that their son and her father and whoever else, they didn't have contracts with TNA Impact Wrestling and thus can't be held as contracted talent. Some of the copyrights that Impact put in for were the characters portrayed by the son and the father. So naturally, they may have a more of a legal leg to stand on, whereas the Hardys themselves, it sounds like it's going to be an uphill climb. I wanted to point out one thing that really drove me nuts. I was looking online and I saw that they now have the pictures posted of Jinder Mahal getting the plates put on his championship belt. And I know that's like a customary thing for WWE to post pictures of that when there's a new champion crowned. Here's my issue. Jinder Mahal has no logo. Jinder Mahal is faceless. All it is the words Jinder Mahal put on the side plates. That shows you how little planning ahead they had for this. They should have had some kind of Maharaja logo or something for Jinder Mahal, and they had nothing. They had nothing because they didn't plan this far enough ahead to really be prepared for it. And it's really a shame because, as I said on the previous podcast episode, I'm actually okay with Jinder Mahal being world champion. I just wish he would have been booked better and maybe held it off just a little bit longer so more people would have legitimately bought into him being a main event star. On the flip side, I hope people get behind this character sooner than later because I think he's earned that. He has been that guy who's been buried in 3MB. He was treated completely ridiculously with that group, as was all three members of that group. Obviously, Drew Galloway was significantly better than 3MB made him look. And same thing with Heath Slater. I mean, I know Slater and Rhino is not exactly on the same level as winning a world title, but it's better than where they were, and people enjoy seeing them. So I'm happy for Jinder. More power to him. Be world champion. Bring in the Indian viewers and voters and whatever. That's fine. I'm okay with that. Just don't make the championship a worthless piece of metal and strap. That bothers me. People, I think, are doing that right now, and you can't do that. That lineage goes back for years. It's a beautiful thing. Let him be a proud champion. Get behind him and see what he can do in the ring. And if you're having an open mind, this guy actually can go. And he can go pretty well in the ring. I think he's been severely overlooked for quite a long time. The next tidbit we're going to get to is WWE. The rumor out today, I saw this reported on eWrestlingNews.com, is talking about WWE wanting to potentially open a theme park that would be WWE themed, which would be amazing. I would love to do that. I can't imagine going on like the John Cena roller coaster or the Randy Orton Viper drop or some crazy nonsense like that, but it sounds like that's something they're contemplating. And when you're WWE and you've got this global conglomerate corporation that's in so many different types of business, merchandising, the movie and music industries, the wrestling and live event shows, pay-per-view, your own television and streaming network service, it only makes sense that they would look at other ventures, and this is just one that, they've got such a huge talent pool that doesn't always get on television. You could almost always have talents there on hand, sign autographs, take pictures. So I think this would actually be an interesting and a strange move, but one that I would be thoroughly behind. The only question now is where do you put it? I think the logical answer is it's either got to be something that's put in a nice warm climate so you can run it year round, or you put it where the headquarters are and you only run it part of the year. But who wants to go to Stamford, Connecticut to ride roller coasters? No offense to Stanford, but it gets a little chilly too early in the year for me, and it ends being chilly a little too late in the year for me. So, moving on to one of the topics I've been looking forward to talking about. I have not covered the night-by-night reaction to the New Japan Pro Wrestling Best of the Super Juniors tournament that's been going on. I am going to give you tonight the updated standings as of today, May 24th. Block A has a tie at the top of the leaderboard with Dragon Lee, Marty Scurll, and Will Ospreay all attaining 6 points. Ricochet and Tai Chi, along with Hiromu Takahashi, all sitting with 4 points. Taka Michinoku with 2, and Jushin Thunder Liger with no points as of yet. Jushin Liger What a classic wrestler. The guy's still going at it. He's easily the oldest wrestler in the wrestling world right now who's a full-time active competitor, but it would have been nice to see him get some points so far in Block A. In Block B, El Desperado is leading the charge with 6 points. Raisuke Taguchi has 4, along with Tiger Mask 4 has 4. Yoshinobu Kanemaru has 4. ACH with 2 points, Volador Jr. and Kushida both with 2 points, and Bushi coming in, just like Liger, with 0 points. Don't forget, call that number, the Sound Off line, 267-642-1160, with all of your questions and comments and concerns that we can put into the live episode coming Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to go to frolifeplanning.com/fropodcast for our new website. It will have all sorts of features on there, including all of our sponsors we have right now. We're thankful to the Black and Brave Academy, to the Wrestle Factory, to Beazle Games, to Alley Repair. Go over there, check those guys out. There are links to all of the interviews we've posted so far, which it's always fun to go back and relive some of those. And there's some news and tidbits and rumors at the top of the page to keep you guys posted in the event that I'm not able to get a podcast up to you guys. I don't want you guys falling behind on the news. Don't forget to head over to the frolifeplanning.com/fan poll page and get your votes in for that 256-man tournament, tag team tournament. We'll be announcing the next round on the live episode Saturday night. We'll go over some of the interesting matches. As I said at the onset of this, our Patreon page, patreon.com/FroWrestlingPodcast. We would appreciate anybody who would like to contribute to our efforts to grow this podcast and make it even more engaging for all of our listeners. That's all the time we have for this episode. Check back with us next episode. We'll run down all the news and rumors, hopefully before the live broadcast tomorrow night. If not, we will see you guys Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our live show, taking your calls and questions. Special thanks as always go out to bensound.com and purpleplanet.com for producing all the music and sound effects used in today's show. Today's podcast, as always, sponsored in part by Beazle Games. Bringing a new friend to family game night is easy with sketchy people. Showcase your artistic side in this new game from Beazle Games by going to www.thegamecrafter.com/games/sketchypeople to pick up your copy today. And to alleyrepair.com, contact Alley Repair today for servicing of all of your classic skee-ball, pinball, and arcade game needs. Be sure to shoot over to our website at frolifeplanning.com for all of your higher education needs. If you are somebody looking to get into a college, university, or just start that new career path, Fro-Life Educational Planning can help you get there. Whether it's adult returning to education programs, if you're fresh out of high school, or you're not even out of school yet, you just want to start planning, we are the group for you. We can help you get to your top choices and find you alternatives that may be more appealing you may never have thought of before. Remember that Fro-Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro-Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Mr. Fro, and I want to thank you for taking a few moments with us today. And if you're looking for more wrestling news and rumors, go to www.tsjsports.com/WWE for the latest articles on the world of professional wrestling. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in, and I will see you in our next episode, the live episode, Saturday night, 9 p.m.